Hi there, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about change. Present, Master Shimashou. This is the 5th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book, in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is now available on Amazon. Become a better speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 279, and today we are talking about change. Well, today we're going to look at inspiring people to embrace change, not grumbling and finally accepting change, not resisting change until the bitter end. We're talking about embracing change. Now, this is a big task. We may have all done that exercise where we fold our arms across our chest, but the bottom arm on top this time. It's a simple change, but instinctively, we don't like the change. If we can't deal with such a simple change, how hard is it going to be to get people to accept big changes? How can we persuade people to go for the changes we are recommending? Here is how we design the talk. Number one, we start with clearly defining what it is we want to change. We have to make sure this is crystal clear to ourselves and everyone else involved. If you've ever designed a questionnaire or a survey and haven't been clear enough on the question about what you want, then you know it throws the whole effort out of kilter and you can't use the results. So, the change has to be communicated to people, and that means we have to be concise and clear about what the outcome is that we want. Number two. Now, this isn't the order we present the talk in, but for design clarity purposes, we start at the end. We need to design 2 closes. We have to decide how we're going to close the talk before we open up for questions. The second close is for after the Q&A. The latter is particularly important. We don't want some random off-topic question hijacking our audience's attention, have them forgetting the key point we were making. Remember, we want our recommendation to be ringing in the ears of the audience once the talk is over. So, the second close is the last thing they will hear from us, and we have to dominate their memory banks with our messaging. Number 3, we should be anticipating likely questions we will get. We don't want to be surprised by a question we are not prepared for. We can see our own credibility and the credibility of our suggestion about the needed changes crash and burn if we cannot properly handle the questions thrown at us. Number 4, we have to justify the reason for the change. This has 2 parts. One being the statement of why we need the change. We have to be clear about asking for the change so there is no doubt about what we say we need. The other part is an example why we need the change. This example has to be clear and compelling. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is being brought to you by, on the 4th of March, we'll be doing the 12-week-long Dale Carnegie course. On the 9th of March, we'll be doing the 8-week-long Winning with Relationship Selling program. These are all the main modules. And then again, on the 12th of March, we'll do another Dale Carnegie course. On the 17th of March, we'll do High Impact Presentations Training. Check out our website at www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value for you there. Now, to do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, there are over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which is the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Number 5. Now we need to come up with 3 quite viable solutions for fixing the problem we have specified. We can't have 2 ludicrous solutions and one which looks like the perfect idea. This type of approach will come across as an attempt to manipulate the result, and our credibility will be damaged. Number 6, to demonstrate balance, we need to nominate the pros and cons for each of the 3 suggestions. Having chosen legitimate alternatives, there will be real pros and cons, and we need to outline what these are in detail. We want the audience to feel we are being objective in our approach. Number 7, we purposely make the 3rd suggestion the one we prefer. We know that recency means that the listeners will best remember the last thing they heard. It has to be the strongest of the 3 strong alternatives. Number 8, we need to specify that we are recommending option number 3 and then provide convincing evidence of why we are recommending that solution. We have to make sure the audience feels the other 2 options could work and that this last one is clearly the best option. Number 9, lastly, we design the opening. As always, the opening has one main task, and that is to break through all of the distractions going on in the minds of our audience. People today are so preoccupied with their phones and social media. We have a gargantuan struggle ahead of us to pry their phones out of their hands and have them give us their full attention. This is the hardest time in history to be a public speaker. So we need to be up to the task. So the order of delivery is as follows. 1, opening. 2, statement of need. 3, example of need. 4, solution 1, pros and cons. 5, solution 2, pros and cons. 6, solution 3, pros and cons. Number 7, our recommendation that we choose solution 3 and why. 8, close number 1. 9, question and answer. 10, final close. If we follow this structure, then we have a much better chance of people adopting our suggested course of action. Getting people to make changes is extremely difficult. Getting them to make the changes willingly is even more difficult. So we need this type of special preparation in order to be successful. Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series. If you got value from today's show, spread the love around and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today, use it, and go out there and become a presentations legend. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.